People are always asking, what does it take? What can I do? What can I, or how can I move to be a better man, to really just understand game, to understand that that game is not something that you can just go on to YouTube and just pull up. And a lot of people don't understand by attaching themselves, and what they're doing, unfortunately, is that they're looking at more the I do versus the I am. The I do is actually having you attach yourselves to people, events, and circumstances that create a foundation of what you think is actually truth because of a circumstance that may happen to somebody else. We want to then take on that circumstance to make us think that that circumstance is actually our truth, or an event that has happened to us. We want to look at that event as defining who we are. And that is part of the problem, because most people don't understand the influence, how the thought process has when you're not really founded in yourself, when you're not really stuck on who you are. And from that point, we then push ourselves to begin to make assumptions, which we think is our actual truth. It's our reality, and it is our perception. It's how we expect the world to see us. So we have these stories and these expectations on how we feel the world should be to us. But in another sense, we're also interacting to how the world is acting to us versus just being in that world. Kind of like being in your perception and your reality is not actually your truth. It is a lie. It's something that your mind has made you feel like it is actually real. It feels so real that you think that it is actually real when it's actually not real. It's actually not real at all. But what the mind has done is it has created you to think about stress, fear, rejection, and all these things that are actually holding you back because they're actually not real. I always say, grab your arm. You can grab your arm and you can feel that you are actually real. You can feel you, but you can't reach out and grab fear, and you can't reach out and grab anxiety and all these other things that you have. So technically, if you're looking at the world as a belief, it's very important to understand that you can believe whatever you want to believe, but once you become a student of the game, it is not about a belief. It's realizing that you can have a belief in something, but that belief is actually not a fact, because the beliefs are just nothing more than you creating conclusions based off of your experiences. So every person that has entered your life, man, woman, dog, elf, unicorn, has entered your life, you have drawn on all those experiences to create what you think is actually the world itself. But once you realize that one must be rooted in himself to understand that he can have a thought, just like you can have a thought or something about yourself, but just because you have that thought, if that thought does not serve you, then that thought is just holding you back, which you should have the power to cut off. But for the person that is not looking to himself for the answers, he's feeling stuck. He feels that there's no really a way out to grow, and he can grow because those thoughts that he has is actually holding him back. It's actually creating his reality. And in that reality that he's creating for himself, he's also setting traps within that world, within that belief system, within that realm that is actually holding him back. He will allow the outside of himself, to create his reality or create his I am. So if an I do creates your I am, then that's why you come out with an I won't, I can't, I'm too short, too fat, too ugly, and all these other stuff. Because all these things are actually created by you. You are the creator of all your worlds, and you create everything that you do. But the question that you've got to ask yourself, do you want to be a student of the game to realize that everything that you see is actually not really what is reality? You know, people think that they're not good enough, or they think that the woman is worthy. You know, it's like when I say about beauty, what makes her beautiful, what makes her special, what makes her sexy. See, when you become a student of the game, beauty is what beauty does. Sexy is what sexy does. So that's why a man is always considered a jerk and an asshole, because he is not going to prop a woman up based off of a false belief that even she has for herself, believing that makeup, eyeliner, weave, and all that other stuff she puts on herself is going to make her special in the eyes of a man. It just makes her someone that gets a man's curiosity, but not enough where she's going to be worth his attention, his time, his respect, and then at the end of the day, the dick. So, but being a student, learning game is a stepping stone, but it is understanding that you're allowed to have the reality that you have right now. It's just that your reality right now is the reason why you are what you are, because you actually think that reality is your truth. The truth is, to be able to learn game is to understand you, that you need to understand you, and then understand your truth to be able to succeed in the game. But as long as you're looking at the game from an I do versus an I am, you will continue to build up references in your mind of simple examples that either happened to somebody else or something that has happened to you a long time ago, to give you reference points to why you're not doing what it is you're doing. And you know, it's a vast world of knowledge. It's a vast world of thinking. And when you actually become a student and really become so selfish that you stop listening to the outside world, everything's going to change when you start to listen to yourself.